2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Windsor Gardens or download the Revo Fitness app. RevoFitness.com.au or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.
The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Devastating news. As you know, Home and Away, it's on every night on Channel 7 at 7 p.m. But we got word that Lynne McGranger is leaving.
Oh, my God. It's a whisper.
And we thought, how can she do this to us? How can she retire and just move away from the Bay? And we're all devastated. Lynne, what's going on?
Darling, let me stop you right there. There is no retirement happening at all.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm not retiring.
Yeah.
I'm just finishing on Home and Away because I want to do more theatre.
Is that right?
Oh, Lynne.
You're going to be treading the boards as a thespian.
Yes, I am not. I'm straight. No.
I was going to say, it's one of those middle-aged things, isn't it?
Yeah. No, darling, not that there's anything wrong with that. No, look, I realised last year when I was touring the Grandparents Club that the time had come for me to kind of take a step back from 32 plus years of television and just do kind of go full circle and do what I started out doing, which was theatre, and which I absolutely love. And I made the call. I made the decision. So I'm definitely not retiring, Nat. I'm certainly, I will audition for things and try different things, but I'll also have a rest, and go. No, I think I'll go down to Tassie for a week.
Yeah, you can be discerning about what projects you.
Absolutely, and I haven't got to run it past the production office and try and work it in with Home and Away, which is, as you know, it's a bloody extraordinary machine.
Yes, it is.
For 46 weeks of the year, and how they run it, I do not know, because there's, somebody gets sick and the whole thing goes to hell in a handbasket because they have to change everything. It's such a full-on gig for which I am so grateful.
Yeah.
I've just loved nearly every minute of it. And I'm honestly, I'm so blessed and so grateful, and it's just wonderful.
Now, Lynne, we know that obviously you're not going to tell us what the storyline is, but my question is it the sort of storyline that it has a very finite ending, or is it the sort of storyline that potentially down the track you might just swan back in because Irene's lap of Australia in a caravan is finished, or whatever it might be? Do you know what I mean? You know what I'm asking? Is it open that you could come back again?
I do know what you're asking, but I'm not going to answer it because it's not black and white. So I don't want to lead you up the garden path, and I don't want to give away too many hints. All I can say is that the storyline is incredibly pertinent and very kind of very important, particularly in this day and age. And I like to think that the audience will be taken on a real journey with Irene and, of course, the rest of the cast. Sorry, honey, I can't tell you. If I were over there now, I could have a little whispering.
Sure, and a couple of winks and we'd know. Yep, no worries.
But the one thing with Home and Away is a lot of people have gone by the wayside at some stage and miraculously, like the good Lord, just appear again out of nowhere and the show goes on. We've
had people morph through the white goods.
That's right.
We have. I'm not making it up.
I remember.
Somebody has, an issue.
It was Ailsa, wasn't it? Wasn't Ailsa in the fridge? Was that what it was?
No, it was Bobby.
Oh, Bobby, the ghost of Bobby, yes.
Through the fridge or the toaster or something, some white goods.
Yes.
To Ailsa.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I
too
think it was
Elsa,
at
that's
that
right.
point I also went, I better pop along with the doctors. I don't think I'm quite right today.
So there's always, whatever the storyline, there's always a chance you could reappear in some fashion.
Oh, look, darling, it's a soap. So, yes. And they still, the writers have still, they constantly ignore my suggestion. I always wanted Irene to be abducted by aliens and then sort of spat out and sent back to Summer Bay with a story that no one would swallow. But they would never come at that. But, bless them, they've come at this storyline, and I'm very, very pleased.
And I love
proud.
that you've had that input into that. That's incredible, because you know that character more than anyone. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, look, if I had my way, really, I just would have got hit by a bus outside the diner. Bang, she's gone. See ya. But no,
straight to an ad.
Summer Bay, and that ain't going to happen.
No,
Lynne, almost 33 years. Can I ask you, you were just saying before, so Home and Away shoots for 46 weeks a year, like it's just unbelievable, unstoppable. Do you get holidays, and also during that period, do you strike up long service leave as it accrues, like normal jobs?
Well, we do get long service leave. It's very vague and muddy, and I'm not sure about it. Last year when I toured the play, I took a little bit of long service, not a lot, off, but I'm not sure how it works in terms of what you get paid. I know, like with most jobs, it's hard to describe because we take off a bit of time here and a bit of time there. So my long service leave that I would have accrued since last year would be less because I took time off to do the play. I'm not sure, but in answer to your first question, yes, we do get holidays. So we normally get Easter off. That's usually about a 10-day period. This year it happened, I won't be there. And then we get 2 weeks off in July, August, and then we get 3 weeks at Christmas. So we get, give or take 6 weeks off during the year, but we have to make 46. It's chiseled somewhere in a Rosetta Stone. I don't know. But apparently the world will come to an end if we don't make 46 weeks of Home and Away a year.
It's incredible.
So it's very brutal. It's brutal. And, of course, if you want to take, like I took time off the Grandparents Club last year, as long as you give them notice, the office plenty of notice, and they can weave it into, and, if you've been watching the show, Irene, because she hit the grog again and was found in a pile at the
went to
bottom
rehab,
of the stairs. Went to a facility, and I just she must be rolling in dough. That's all I can say. To go away to a facility for 5.5 months. I mean, what is going on?
There's something.
But I'm back on air. I'm back on air tonight.
Yeah.
God bless.
That diner's making some backroom gambling money, I think, in order to be able to afford that.
Oh, my God, Bit of sly grog. I have no idea what she's selling.
Lynne, look, you are, we bandy the term around from time to time, but it genuinely applies to you, a national treasure. We look forward to seeing you on stage. Perhaps you can bring a show to Perth. We would love to have you back in here again.
I would love to. I would love to. The logistics are a bit hard getting, carting a play over. But and we're not coming over this time. We are doing all the eastern seaboard, the north, the south. But I know the producers are keen as mustard to come over to WA. So watch this space. I would love to come over again. I missed telethon this year because I was touring.
Because you were in rehab, we know.
Yes, that's the truth. I was. But thank you, guys. Always a great pleasure. And look forward to chatting to you again down the track.
Good on you,
absolutely.
Lynne. It's our
Lots
pleasure.
of love, Lynne. Thank you.
Thanks, mate.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
I often hear those stories about people in particular who, everyone from WA and around Australia goes to London, right, at some stage. It's a rite of passage.
Yeah.
When I went used to go and visit my mates who were doing that after I finished a footy season. I remember going to a place, they had a house in a suburb called Neasden.
Neasden?
Ever heard of that?
Never heard of Neasden.
Once you jump on the train line or the tube station, like, you got to go all the way out there.
And you get on your Neasden.
And you it's one of those places where you get out of the tube station, you walk up and you just
go,
think, if I can survive a walk from this train station to this house, it's a mere miracle.
That's novel because all of my friends lived in Earls Court, which is like a mini Australia base, a mini Sydney.
Yeah.
And they, so friends of mine they all lived in the same house at different times. There was this essentially a flop house where 10 people could live at any one time in Earls Court. And only recently, like it was probably in the last 3 or 4 years, did they say, that it's finally been let go. Like that,
really?
Because it was just like another Australian would move in and then they'd stay longer while others moved out. And then, so finally it's been released back to the wild, that particular house. But it would have been more than 20 years there were Australians living in that house.
That's amazing.
Isn't it
turnover,
just? I know. And with 10 people. So sometimes that was like one girl, she lived essentially on the landing where the stairs, at the top of the stairs. It wasn't a room, but she had a bed there. So, yes, I say 10 people lived there. It wasn't a 10-bedroom house. There were people, in all the nooks and crannies.
Because everybody knows you got no money, right? You're overseas.
Yeah.
The only money you've got, you're spending it on a pint at the pub.
Yes.
When I first rocked into this place in Neasden, and I remember going through the house, and a guy that I know, Blairy, his bedroom was the kitchen, and the kitchen was so narrow. He had a single mattress that could fit between the oven and the wall.
But also the warmth of the oven.
Very warm.
That's a real bonus.
So every night at whatever time, after everyone had done their individual cooking, he'd be able to put down his mattress.
He'd roll out his mat.
And then he would go to sleep. Straight away when he got up to get going in the morning and go off to work, he'd fold his mattress off and put it into another thing.
His room had tea and coffee making facilities, though. Like, you just got to put the right spin on it.
I actually didn't see it that way, the positives.
My first student house, because I moved to Melbourne to go to university, I was still 17, and I literally found a student house by ripping the number off a notice that was pinned to the wall at uni that said, housemate wanted. And I rang this number, and it was in a suburb called, like, to you and I, when we look at it, you would say Reservoir, but if you're in Melbourne, it's called Reservoir. And it wasn't, Reservoir now has kind of had a bit of a regeneration. It was before that. And it was a house at 17 Hickford Street. And it was a very 70s house. And I lived in the dining room, which meant there was actually a hatch between the kitchen and the dining room, and they'd gone to Bunnings and found the cheapest bit of plywood that you could get, and just like literally nailed it over that servery hatch. But like you could knock on it, and that straight through to the kitchen. And I just
my dinner through.
My bedroom was the dining room. That's just the way it worked.
2 questions: how old were you at the time, and how much
17.
did it cost?
17, and the rent.
I couldn't imagine my daughter being 17 and me allowing that to happen. Times were completely different.
I reckon 60 a week.
60 a week.
Yeah.
How good.
I know.
Hey, we want to talk about this. Some of the accommodation that you've lived in and where you've actually stayed. Was it in a bathroom, a bedroom? Was it in a bus like Natalie?
Was
in
it
the
London?
Kitchen? Absolutely.
Zoe's in East Freo. Hi, Zoe.
Hi.
Hey, Zoe.
Okay, Zoe, talk to us. What was your worst living situation?
Well, after I'd moved to London, I was so broke, and I moved in with 4 foul, disgusting English boys, and I got given the shoebox room up in the attic.
Yes.
It was in the middle of winter, and it was freezing cold, so every morning at 3 a.m, I was so cold, put on every single item of clothing I owned, and had to put the hairdryer on for about an hour to try and warm up the room.
The hairdryer was your heating.
That's grim. That is grim.
Zoe, being up in the attic, was it also a bit scary? Was it a bit scary? Did it have what kind of feel did it have apart from being cold?
Oh, yeah, it was scary, but also I was more scared of my roommate, well, not the housemate, who looked like a gorilla, was so hairy and disgusting. He was in the room below me, and he said, "I've got a heater in my room. Come join me."
Oh,
Zoe.
I'm like, no thanks, I'm good with the hair.
No thanks. And also, you always had fabulous hair, though, so... Just doing a blowout every night to keep warm. Thanks, Zoe. That's grim. Dave's in Woodvale. Hello.
Good morning, guys. How are we?
Hey, good, Dave.
Take us down memory lane. What was your worst living situation?
So I was 18, 1998. I got a job playing football as well as a job at a farm down at Mount Barker.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, supposedly. Anyway, so they got me a rental with this lady from the Commonwealth Bank. Anyway, so the shower, you had to go and chop wood.
Yep.
And then you had to put the wood, obviously, in the potbelly stove.
Oh, yeah, that was my childhood too. Yeah, we had to do that,
to light up the hot water system.
Yep.
To have a shower. But the only way you knew if the hot water was hot, you could hear this dripping sound happening in the roof.
Yes.
And anyway, so then you got to grade this, the hot water's hot, you jumped in the shower and it dribbled. And
no pressure. That's Sean's worst nightmare.
Pressure, nothing, absolutely nothing. I remember some days of footy down there, we had 5 inches of snow on the ceilings, and you did not want to get out of the change rooms. No one wanted the football near him.
No.
Still behind the biggest bloke on the field and just stayed there.
Yes.
You know, but yeah, tough times, but
tough
great
times.
fun.
I know, great memories though, right? Great
The noise
memories.
in the roof, Nat.
Yes. So when it gets to a certain temperature, it's sort of there's like a valve thing where the water would come out, like drip out.
Yep.
Yeah. That's when you knew it was hot enough.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's not great.
It doesn't sound.
Dee's in Melbourne. Morning, Dee.
Hi, how you going?
Good, Dee.
Dee, talk to us about your worst living situation.
Mine's also London. I've probably got a few, but this is probably the best one. We had 24 in the house.
Whoa!
It was a 3-story house that had about 6 bedrooms.
Yeah.
People just slept in spaces. But I had a good room. I had 3 girls in my room. I got it off Gumtree,
Yes.
and the guy it was £60 a week. He used to come at a certain time every week with 3 bouncers, and you had to pay him cash. And if you weren't there, they took your stuff out, and if you didn't have the cash, they would march you out with all your gear.
Oh, my God.
They threw stuff from the top level out. It was, I made some really great friends in there, but also some of the life experiences that I've never forgotten.
I mean, it is the sort of experience that forges friendships, isn't it? Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Dee, if there's a full house at 24 people and he's charging everyone £60?
Yeah, £60. Yeah.
So that's $1,440
a week
in pounds.
But he didn't own one house. He owned that's what he did. That was his business.
He's what we call
houses.
a slumlord.
Oh, my God. And the bouncers coming in, pay now or we'll turf your gear out.
I know.
They turf your gear out. And I can't remember, but that's probably telling of the time as well. We had one kitchen down the bottom. I just don't recall that we had another kitchen.
Yes, so
else.
24 people using one little galley kitchen.
Yeah, but the
and
toilets.
We had a tiny little lounge room down the bottom, and we used to have to pay for our have a thing to put 20 cents in, 20p in for our hot water. Yeah.
What about Dee? What about going to the toilet and using the bathroom?
We did have a bathroom on each level, I'm pretty sure. I can't.
Wow,
it's a long time ago. But yeah, it was. I know there was a couple who was sort of like in a bit bigger than a cupboard. But
how long were you there, Dee? How long did you last there?
I was there probably for about 6 to 8 months in that house.
Bloody hell.
But the first girl reminded me, I lived in a house with 5 South African boys when I first went over, and they just thought I was going to cook and clean. Dad, I don't know how to do that for myself.
Yes. That's amazing. Thanks, Dee.
It's the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Windsor Gardens or download the Revo Fitness app. RevoFitness.com.au or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.
Now, you know, Sean, I don't have any children, so I thought I would be free at this time of year, that I would not have any responsibilities. But it turns out school ball season is upon us. I know some have been through it already. Others, it's coming up in the next few weeks.
Yes.
It is a stressful time, and I've been helping my niece. Her school ball is tonight.
You've been the surrogate because...
Yes. So she's boarding. She's at boarding school, and so her mum and dad live in Esperance, and so little access to to frock shops and the like. And so late last year, my niece called me and said, "Oh, can you take me to look at this dress?" She'd found one that she liked online. And I thought that I had nailed the whole brief because we had to go to a dress rental place. And so I picked her up from school. We drove into the city to look at this dress. We were running early, so we had time to pop into Leadville for Yochi.
Yeah, Yochi. Unbelievable, by the way.
Then we've rocked up at the dress rental place. There was a car park right out the front. I'm like, it's all coming up. It's coming up roses. She walks in. She tries on the dress that she'd seen online.
Yep.
It fits perfectly.
Ooh.
And she's like, this is it. This is it. This is the one. We're done. And I'm like, maybe just try on a couple more just to compare. So she tried on 2 more, which both also fit perfectly. And at least one of those would have been also amazing had the other one not been available. And so then we FaceTimed, and she put the first one back on again, FaceTimed her mum. Yep, great. Okay, we're done. It was like a 12-minute exercise.
Oh,
I'm like,
that is so good,
we've
Nat.
nailed this. And then they're sort of filling out the paperwork, and they're like, I'm like, when's the ball? And I'm like, oh God, please let it be available for starters. Please let it be available. It was available. I'm like, oh my God, this is so good. Paid for it then. It's all good. And then they just said, okay, you can pick it up the day before the ball between 5:30 and 6 o'clock, which is very specific. And so yesterday was pick-up day.
So months later.
Later. So we looked at the dress on the 6th of November.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so in that time, I thought maybe last week they would send a reminder or just a little something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but they didn't. I thought, that's weird. Isn't that weird? Like, I would have thought it's an automated system that they would send a reminder saying, just a reminder, your pickup time is this next Wednesday, blah, blah, blah. And they didn't. And so I started getting nervous.
I would too. Can I ask you about, with your niece, how many times did you speak to her leading up to this end date? Because there's a couple of things here. Obviously, if you're not getting any more paperwork to remind you or say, hey, we've got the dress, this is the moment, you'd be getting nervous. Secondly, do you think that you would question, did I actually look good in that? Is that a question that you... I can't remember. Was that the one for me?
We did take some pictures, so she did have some pictures that are relevant. Because, of course, as soon as she decided that was the dress she wanted to wear, took the picture, and then that's then posted on her friends. They have a group for her school year so that nobody wears the same dress.
Okay, yeah, sure,
that's important. And the other thing that made me nervous was that about 10 days ago, my sister-in-law who'd organised the hair and makeup gets a call from that salon that said, sorry, we've had to cancel your appointment because the woman who's going to do it, her mum's sick, she has to travel to go and see her mum. And it's like, and then my sister-in-law's like, well, now what? I don't know any hair and I'm in Esperance. What am I going to do? And so she called me and we had to secure another hair and makeup artist who could do her hair and makeup today. So that was a stress on its own. And so when they're just a bit non-committal about the dress, so I thought I'll contact them. I'll just email them. So I emailed them and said, just confirming, is this the pickup time? Because I had two different times. One said 5 to 6 and one said 5:30 to 6. I'm like, just confirming, and what I wanted was reassurance that dress was available and ready to go. And they didn't answer. No response. And then, so I thought, they've got a phone number, I'll call them. Yep. So I called, it's a mobile number, called the number and it went to voicemail and the message said, you can't leave a message. I'm like, you people are uncontactable.
This is going south pretty quickly. I know.
So I drove in last night to pick up the dress with every toes and fingers crossed. The traffic was terrible. I ended up being late. So I got there at like 10 past 6 and I'm like, please still be open. But they were, and that was fine. And I said, this is the name and this is, I'm here to pick up the dress. And she taps on a computer and she goes, okay, no problem. She goes over to a rack of all the dresses put up that are waiting for pickup. And she pulls out this dress and she goes, here you go. And it was like an aqua blue sequined dress. And I'm like, that's not the dress.
Not the one.
That's not the dress. And I'm like, inside, I'm going, that's not the dress. and I'm like, oh my God, please don't let them have given her dress to anybody else. Please, 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 please. And then I said, no, that's not it. It's black. It's this brand, blah, blah, blah. And she went, oh, I think that's upstairs. And so she goes upstairs and she's up there for a little while. And I'm just thinking, oh my God,
this is not going to work.
Internally rocking in the corner, just thinking we have no second, no backup and no time to even go and look at other dresses. Nothing. And so when she walked down with the right dress, I'm like, oh, The angels sang from the heavens. I'm like, thank God. My one responsibility is this dress. I have the dress in my possession after work today. I have to drive it out to Guildford so that then she has the dress. She can get ready. We've sorted hair and makeup. She is going to be good. Cinderella's going to the ball and my responsibility is almost over. Unless somebody's breaking into my car now and stealing that dress, we're almost home and hosed.
Now, there'd be so many people, though, who it didn't work out the right way because the dress never came through. Someone ruined it the time before. The hair and makeup thing's a big deal.
Yeah, I know. The cancelling of that and then you're scrambling to find somebody else at last minute. And if you don't have those contacts, just lucky that we do.
Yeah.
I mean, she's using Gail, who's done our hair and makeup for photo shoots a number of times, and she does a great job.
Well, she has to with us.
I know. Yes, exactly. If she can make us look good, she can nail, a 17-year-old is nothing. So, but also, the shoes breaking at the last minute, putting a fake tan on and it being way too dark.
Now, I don't suppose we'll get too many parents of young men whose suit went awry, but that can happen as well. I mean, we've got the stock standard black and white get-up.
Yes.
I mean, it's hardly stressful.
I know, you guys just honestly...
Just roll that out every time we've got a party.
And your mum organises a corsage for the girl and then you're good to go.
100%.
Becca's in Wattle Grove. Hello, Becca.
Hello.
Hey, Becca. Okay, talk to us about your school ball drama.
So it was my daughter's school ball a couple of weeks ago. She had asked my husband to take her and her friends in his car, which is his pride and joy.
Yeah.
So the weekend before, he's cleaned it all, got it all ready. The day of the ball, they've head off and driving down the freeway, and their tyre pops on the car.
Oh, on the way there.
And he had given his spare to his mate.
Oh.
So on the freeway, he's had to call an Uber
Yeah.
girls to get to the ball.
So they're all standing on the side of the freeway in their complete school ball get up, like with sour looks on their faces because they have to hail an Uber. It's not easy it's hard to put that address into an Uber to come and get you.
Yeah, on the freeway. Whereabouts on the freeway? What number is that?
Amazing.
It was on the Canning Highway off-ramp.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's on a Friday afternoon. So it wasn't great.
Becca, did they have to walk anywhere? Because if you were to ask for a tow truck, right, they'll go, no, you got to go off the freeway, you got to go to a street that's adjacent or something. Did they...
So I believe the girls were picked up from the freeway.
Yeah.
They had... his car did get towed off the freeway and just put in a car park somewhere by main road.
Yes.
And then he had to sit in that car park for 2 or 3 hours waiting for a tow truck to bring it home.
The fact that normally there's 8 tow trucks just descend on you like, vultures on a rotting carcass, and you had to wait 2 hours. That's amazing.
What kind of car was it, Beck?
It is a Holden Statesman.
Oh, was it old school one or just a nice one?
It's just a 90s one, but it's his baby.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, the pride and joy. Those girls will never ask for that
Those
again.
things are worth a fortune then.
Amazing. Thanks, Becca. Josh is in Alkimos. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Hey,
Great,
good Josh.
What's the school ball drama?
Oh, it was mine. It was when I was 15. I had a school ball, and I thought I was really cool and wearing a bright yellow suit to show off to everyone.
Who told you?
Josh.
Why? Why do you think yellow was? I mean,
to stand out,
it's
Sean.
It's a strong suit.
It's a bold choice.
It's a very, very bold choice. And I had yellow sunglasses too. I thought I was the coolest kid out. It's very regretful looking back, but I'm not going to lie. But yeah, wearing yellow jacket, yellow pants, and on the way out to go to like where all our friends were.
Yep.
And I was with my family showing off some dance moves, and I did a nice little drop, and my pants split.
Oh.
So bright yellow pants. Ball's about to start in like an hour. There's no chance trying to fix it.
Yeah.
And being a 15-year-old kid, I didn't have any dress pants. So I'm on the phone trying to call some friends that are my size, trying to find pants.
Yeah.
It was very stressful. I ended up just wearing... Pardon?
Yeah, what did you go with instead?
I ended up just wearing, like, my friend's brother's, like, oversized dress pants on me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they were like balloon pants on me.
So you're wearing great big black pants and a yellow jacket.
And yellow sunglasses.
Don't forget
Josh,
the yellow sunglasses.
Were you going to that ball with a girl?
No. Come on.
It might be for the
I'm wearing a
best.
yellow jacket.
I mean,
Well,
I did
it was
wonder.
going to, but once you saw the yellow jacket, she said no thanks. Oh, no.
I mean, you were
Split the
young. You
pants.
didn't know any better. We'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Thanks, Josh. Lisa's in City Beach. Hello.
Hi, how you going?
Good, Lisa.
Look, we're enduring school ball season, and I don't even have any children, and I'm affected. Lisa, what happened?
I'm surprised someone hasn't actually phoned up about me. I run a spray tanning business, and I was fully booked out about the 3rd of February. I think it was a 42-degree
Yes.
stinker of a day.
Yep.
I'm all ready for my school ball girls. I have about 15 girls booked in. My first girl rocks up from school, filled her with some lollies because they're all a bit nervous and faint and haven't eaten all day. She gets undressed, I apply the moisturiser, and the power goes out. She's standing there, she's very pale, and I'm like, oh, look, I'll just check the meter box, maybe the power's gone out, or the air conditioning was on.
Yep.
No, nothing's tripped out. She's just standing there, so I come back in, jump on the Western Power website. There's an unplanned outage in City Beach for 5 hours.
Oh, Lisa.
Did you tell her to put her clothes back on?
I put her clothes back on, and, well, she put her clothes back on, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. Directed her straight to Holly Garvey. Tried to get on I couldn't load anything on the internet, so I'm madly ringing all these parents.
Yes.
These poor girls, I just felt so sorry for them.
Well, you're like, just go straight down to Woolies and get some Bondi Sands and hope for the best?
No, never the Bondi Sands. Anyway, I think most of them got into Holly Garvey, which was fantastic. I had some really desperate mums going,
I can imagine.
Where's Holly Garvey? How do I get into Holly Garvey? I'm like, just jump on the website, just sort it out. I've got 15 girls to call.
15?
The power came on about 7 o'clock, so I managed to get in 2 girls.
Yeah.
But, not ideal timing, not ideal weather, just an absolute disaster.
Yes.
So someone might ring up about me.
About you. About that time, the spray
Actually, our
tanner.
next caller, Lisa, is just saying exactly that.
Thanks so much, Lisa.
Oh, that would be absolutely stressful.
Yes, I know. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
That last-minute cancellation is devastating.
Tell you what I couldn't imagine doing is that's wearing the yellow jacket to the school ball and the shades to go with it.
And the 2 big pants.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.
2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, Reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Windsor Gardens or download the Revo Fitness app, revofitness.com.au, or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.